The London Underground is very well connected between its 11 tube lines. You can take the most direct route on one line, or sometimes you can take a different route that ends up taking you to the same or similar location. In this video, I wanted to take a look at a peculiar section of the London Underground that not many people realise when they glance at a standard tube map. That is the section between King's Cross and Pancras and Moorgate, which has two different routes that use a formula of a meet-up, split-up, and a second meet-up. This part of the London Underground is run by two very different lines. The subsurface lines, formed by the Circle, Agency and Metropolitan lines, and the Northern Line. There are many other instances where it uses this formula, but this one is, I think, the shortest one on the whole tube network. So let me explain this perplexing part of the tube network. The world's first underground railway opened in 1863, linking Paddington and Farringdon, with intermediate stops at Edgware Row, Baker Street, Great Portland Street, Euston Square, and King's Cross and Pancras, not the same one as the modern-day station. This proved to be very successful, and the line was extended further east towards Moorgate in 1865. The owners of the Met were looking to emphasize the amount of trains in order to recover money on their investment. A connection to the Great Northern Railway underneath King's Cross was built, and a Midland Railway connection was assembled under St Pancras when that station opened in 1868. However, this became a breaking point, and the line became very congested. So the city-widened lines were built to separate both underground and mainline services, with a new set of platforms being built adjacent to the underground station, and they closed in 2007, but still remain intact and frozen in time. Meanwhile, the world's first deep-level tube line opened in 1890, between Stockwell and King William Street. However, that station only lasted for a grand total of 10 years, and the line was rerouted from Borough to new underground platforms at London Bridge, Bank, and towards Moorgate, where the Metropolitan line connects. The Northern Line was extended much further towards Angel, and there was a plan to amalgamate the CSLR and the Hampstead Tube into one line. So the line was extended to the current-day King's Cross Tube Station, Euston, and then Camden Town. Meanwhile, the Metropolitan Line station at King's Cross was far too small, and all alone from the modern tube station. So they decided to build a new set of platforms near the frontage of St Pancras, and apparently connect this new station on the Met to the Northern Line again, even though they already built a connection at Moorgate earlier in 1933 when London Transport was established. I don't get how they pulled this off, but anyway. During World War II, a bomb was dropped on the old station, meaning they had to finish the new station quickly, and it opened in 1941 in an unfinished state, with it being quickly finished in the coming months. And that is how we got this peculiarity today, with two different routes between King's Cross and Moorgate. There are a lot of advantages with two different routes between these two rail hubs. First of all, it evens out the capacity on both the subsurface and northern lines. Secondly, and most importantly, if there is an issue with one line, e.g. the subsurface lines, you always have the northern line as your second bet. But the real question is, which route is faster? So I wanted to time myself by starting at a halfway point between the subsurface and deep-level gate lines at King's Cross and finishing at the Elizabeth Line concourse at Moorgate, using the subsurface lines for the first journey and using the Northern Line for the return. Right, so I'm at a halfway point between the subsurface and deep-level gate lines of King's Cross and Pancras, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to time how long it takes between King's Cross and Moorgate on both the subsurface lines and the Northern Line to see which one is quicker. So I'm going to start by the subsurface lines, so I'm going to start the timer now. Okay, so I'm going to head down to the subsurface lines level and get either a Circle, H&C or Metropolitan line, but it has to be the first train I take. Platform 2 via Liverpool Street. So here's my train, and I'll take this.
between the train and the platform.
So now entering Farringdon, the timer is going on very fine.
He's only going to get to Julian and then speak to them.
Now entering Barbican, the timer is going pretty smoothly again. Okay, I've now arrived at Moorgate, and once I reach the end of the Elizabeth Line concourse, I'll stop the timer. Okay. Timer stopped, so it took about 9 minutes to ride on the subsurface lines from King's Cross to Moorgate. Now it's time to use the Northern Line. Let's go. But not before I reset the timer and start it now.
I think it's already through.
I now enter the Northern Line platform. See, I just missed a train, but the timer is still going strong. Alright, my train for King's Cross St Pancras is approaching now. So I'm figuring that this will not be close. Now we're departing. Going to the first stop, Old Street. Alright, this stop is Angel. We're pulling back into King's Cross St Pancras. Then I'll head back to the halfway point where we started. Stop the timer. Okay, so 14 minutes, 12 seconds for the Northern Line. About 5.5 minutes difference. But it depends if you have to wait for a train for a long time.